At this stage of life in the plant, they have very, very tender, almost like spiderweb roots. And you want to try to get them out with that much soil on the roots if you can. You want to put a tomato plant deeper than it was planted. And when you try to get these tomatoes out of here pulling by the seed leaves, if you're pulling so hard that the seed leaves breaks off, you haven't loosened the soilless mix down below, so that root will just come out. You don't want to lose any of the root. These were planted on 13th of March. It took that long for it to get that root. If you pull it out hard and break it off, you're going to have a stunted plant. Stick it in the hole, close it back up. This soil is a little wetter than normal, but it's working pretty good. But see, that thing was hanging on. I'm barely pulling on it. I'm picturing that root is like a spider web. And this has got a long root on it. This is going to be a big plant. You don't want to hurt this plant. And you never know. That's a little thick roots, but not very long. But that could be the biggest one in your yard. So the object of the game is to find one you want to pick out of there. Grab it by the seed leaves. If there's several together, gently take the fork and pull them apart. And this is a little mass of roots right here that the other one was hung up in. And if you just gently take that fork and work it back and forth, slowly pulling on this, see that? We saved all that root by not pulling hard. It all goes in the hole. They're really quite fragile. You got to remember, good soil, good roots, a lot of fruit. I know this probably looks like it's going to be a little easier for me than it is for you. And I've been doing it like this for probably 40 years. I've grown probably 125 tomatoes every year for 40 years. So I'm used to doing this. Now I'm not going to use all these, so I am after the ones that are the biggest. I need 13 for my garden. But I need 13 more in case something happens to my garden, like a horrible thunderstorm shows up and the hail comes out of it and beats my plants down to the ground and I have nothing. And you can't find a tomato plant late May and June in Virginia because everybody's got them in the ground. And you just won't have tomatoes that year. But I just grow a few more plants than I need. That way, if something happens, or if I lose one, I mean, nobody would, if you needed 13 plants, nobody would grow 13. You might drop one on the floor and break a stem in half. And then what would you have? So be gentle getting them out. Get all the roots you can get. After you get them in the tray and get them standing up like little soldiers, you can spray them with the Miracle-Gro 1 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, excuse me, to a quart of water and wet them in. And then you have to watch them like a hawk. If you leave them anywhere near the sunshine, it's best to leave them under these grow lights for a few days, because they need to get re-established. They were happy in that little 4-inch pot, and they're not particularly happy right now. But after a while, they're going to get used to this 4-inch pot, this 6-pack. It's hard for me to do 2 things at a time, talk and plant. So anyway, a couple more of these and we'll have a full tray. I will take these out and put them in a clean tray. I do all my planting in this one tray. It isn't a particularly special deal. It's just every time I do this, I get my soil that I use for potting up plants in it. And I'd rather just have it in this one than have all my plants sitting in trays that are dirty. So anyway, I don't know how long this video is. I got one more little 6-pack to do here, and I got one we did on the other video. That's 6 trays of 6. Thank you for watching.